So Nancy, who is the jewel-born one? Remember?
Ratnasambhava.
Yeah, she passed her test. Okay. Om Ratnasambhava Tram. 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 And Jenny, who's the indestructible-minded one? Yeah. Om Vajra Sattva Hum, 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 Om Vajra Sattva Hum. And whenever I see his name or chant it, I immediately see the double dorje, and it's very powerful, and we're going to have a class with Vajrasattva at the end of this year, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And Sonia, who is the Almighty Conqueror? Which Buddha of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas? The fifth one.
Maitreya.
Amoga Siddhi.
Siddhi.
Amoga Siddhi. So think of Almighty.
Almighty Conqueror.
It begins with an A. Of course, a lot of them begin with an A, but Almighty Conqueror, Amoga Siddhi. Almighty Conqueror, Amoga Siddhi. Let's say it. Almighty Conqueror, Amoga Siddhi. 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 So Nancy, the other Nancy, there's only a couple left, so you should know these. Who's the radiating one? Yes, Vairoshana. Om Vairoshana, Om. Om Vairoshana, Om. Om Vairoshana, Om. Om Vairoshana, Om. And who is the unmovable, unshakable one, Boyd? Four syllables, begins with AK. Just think of the AK-47. Okay, from now on, just think of AK-47. The unmovable, unshakable one with his AK-47, Akshobhya. Om Akshobhya Hum. Om Akshobhya Hum. Om Akshobhya Hum. Om Akshobhya Hum. That's how I can remember it now. AK-47, unmovable, unshakable one. So we have 6 of you here, and we had 6, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas plus Vajrasattva. So it was a very short little quiz. So next time I'll ask different people, different ones, and then pretty soon you'll know all of them. And thanks, Nancy Batten, for creating that wonderful sheet that we can be reminded of these, plus the other aspects of the 5 crystal rays that we use in our prayers. It's good to review these every once in a while because we give these prayers, and yet sometimes maybe a master will come or will get a vibration. Oh, I require this immovable, unshakable energy right now. You know, remember we had Thou shalt not be moved. You remember? From my God consciousness this day. Tom Miller's from Call Upon the Lord? Or no, it was Call Upon the Lord? So, all that time, that whole play was probably being overshined by Akshobhya, but we probably didn't know it. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved. I shall not be moved from my God consciousness this day. That can be a very simple little mantra. I shall not be moved from my God consciousness this day. O beloved Akshobhya, help me, thou immovable, unshakable one, for me to not be moved from my God consciousness this day. Even as I go through my day, even as I do my work, even as I'm moving from here to there, I shall not be moved spiritually from my God consciousness, from my I am presence, from my determination to be in the presence, to be always shining forth that illumining light of my presence. So when you require a little bit more radiation, when you're not feeling so hot humanly, and you like to feel a lot hotter spiritually, then call to Vairoshana, thou radiating one. He's always radiating energy. He's like a pulsar or a sun, always radiating. So Vairoshana, help me to radiate light always to every person that I come in contact with. Now, if you love jewels and you like coming in the alchemy exchange store and getting beautiful, beautiful crystals and things, you can ask Ratnasambhava. And Nancy and Stephen and Dean, when he's there, can ask Ratnasambhava to charge every jewel, every gemstone with his jewel-born one light. He's born of the jewel energy of the sun, of the All-Buddha. Thou jewel-born. What does it mean to be jewel-born? Anybody? What does it mean to be jewel-born?
Crystalline light.
Crystalline.
Always in crystalline light.
So you're immaculately conceived in crystalline light. God's crystalline light. Anybody else? You have many facets of God consciousness, right? If you're a jewel, they usually have many facets. I mean, you don't see a jewel that's just on a plane, right? And that's it. Typically, you've got some dimension. So you've got a number of facets, and each facet is exemplary of an aspect or a virtue of God that flashes forth from it. So if you'd like to be more jewel-born and conceived in jewel light and then born in that light, and I think that we're all conceived perfectly, yet we kind of have to be reconceived and reborn again and again because we allow the darkness of this world to get a hold of us, and so we lose a little bit of our luster. It's good to lose the lust, but not the luster. So we have to be reborn in jeweled light, right? So the first one we mentioned was the infinite light, and that's who overshined us this morning for these calls, which, by the way, can be a new prayer. And it can be in the 80 section. We require more prayers in that section, if anywhere. And so it can be a Buddhic experience of invoking all these infinite manifestations of God's light and virtues. So Amitabha is amazing. When we went to Taiwan, to Taipei, and visited a number of Buddhist temples, one of the most amazing was one in which the devotees there were always chanting to Amitabha. And there are various temples around the world where this is the case. They're constantly chanting Amitabha, Amitabha, Amitabha all day long. Amitabha. Now, what happens when you do that? When you're in the God consciousness as you do it, you begin to incarnate that Buddhic infinite light through your being. Amitabha places his, and I could say her, her divine energy field over you, and you begin to manifest that infinite light Buddhic manifestation. And it's alchemical. It's powerful when you actually are able to absorb it, first absorb it, and then radiate it. thou Buddha of infinite light. Now, in our prayers after this, we say, flood us with the wisdom of equality, discriminating wisdom, all-accomplishing wisdom, etc. Flood us. And when we use this term flood, we really are being infused with the food of light. Flood, food of light. We're being flooded with the food of light of our presence and of all Buddhas. Now, when you really have to overcome something, you call it Amoga Siddhi, Almighty Conquer. And the reason why he's the fifth is because it takes a lot of energy to finally overcome and conquer something. One of the movements or the steps in the Panurithmi is conquering, or some say overcoming. They don't like the word conquer because it dredges up images of war. But conquering doesn't have to be a war effort. It can be simply the overcoming through the virya of the will. So Amoga Siddhi, Almighty Conquer, is one that you can call to when you're right at that 11 o'clock line of just about being victorious in something, and you require a little oomph to get over the final hump or the final hill in your climb. You feel tired or you feel weary or whatever, and you're just ready to be done with it, and yet you're not quite there yet. And so I think in our final incarnation, we're all desirous and requirous of having Amoga Siddhi with us, because this could be the final lifetime before our ascension. And so he's really a great Buddha to call to, Amoga Siddhi, Almighty Conquer, during our entire incarnation. Amoga Siddhi, And when you finally get there, what happens when you ascend? Amoga Siddhi, thank you. Thank you for your help, And then who comes with the interplay of all of them and kind of launches us to the next level? Vajrasattva, with the double dorje, that thunderbolt of light, indestructible minded one. So what does it mean to have an indestructible mind? Anyone?
Determined.
A determined mind. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be divided, fatigued. What?
Cannot be
Distracted. It simply cannot be impeded upon through the negative forces of darkness that would use your mind for lesser things. For lesser things. We use our mind a lot for lesser things on this earth. If we put our attention upon stuff that is really not of God, right? And unfortunately, just life itself requires us to do this somewhat. Yet we don't have to be attached to those things that we temporarily have to, allow our minds to be, inveigled in. If we're not attached to those things, the energy of that indestructible mind is not really focused there. It's just a temporary, very slight fixation on it so we can get through the matters of life that we have to deal with, the essentials of living. Yet the indestructible mind is always attentive to God and the mind of God. The indestructible mind is always attentive to the thoughts, the ideations, the conceptions, the perceptions of the mind of God, the all-mindful, all-Buddha. And so for us to be in that same point of reference of having an indestructible mind, we must have the adamantine mindfulness of Maurya, of Manjushri, of Mercury, of Mother, and of all of the Mother Buddhas. Now, you may think that the male Buddhas are really super indestructible-minded ones, yet the female Buddhas are just as powerful if not more so than the male Buddhas, because their mindfulness is maximized by the mirth of their inner being, because they originate from the point, or their point of origin is the unmanifest. And from the mystery of the unmanifest, you access the indestructible mind. Akshobhya says, from the mystery of the unmanifest, you can manifest your indestructible mind. From the mystery of the unmanifest. That is something to meditate upon. From the mysterious and mystery, unmanifest space, the womb of the cosmic virgin, the cosmic mother, you can access the indestructible mind. Mothers are always our first teachers. They are all wise. They are Theosophia embodied. And they will save the earth. The mothers will save the earth. So Vajrasattva I'm seeing, and the image of the double Dorje is really male and female combined. Now we haven't really been given, to my knowledge, my memory, names of the female five Dhyani Buddhas, right? Have we ever been? I think it's never been really shared. So really, these are more conceptual Buddhas in some sense. Whether they were actual physical Buddhas is questionable. If you read about the five Dhyani Buddhas, they are more conceptions of states of awareness. And from my vantage point, I see them as both male and female. So they really are fully integrated divine beings who are Alpha and Omega internally. You may see them as male Buddhas in images that are made, and from my perception, they are fully androgynous divine beings and cosmic conceptions of energy fields, very high frequencies, infinite light, jewel-born one, almighty conqueror, indestructible minded one, immovable, unshakable, and the radiating one. So when you meditate on all these five concepts and the Buddha's names that we use to invoke these great conceptions, you tap into the crystalline frequencies that are the Buddhic frequencies. And these will help you to pass the more subtle initiations of life. They will help you to go deeper in your path of oneness with God beyond the Christic energies of the seven rainbow rays. And when you really absorb these, and really absorb them, when you meditate on each one for minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and you absorb what is behind these, all-pervading wisdom, the mirror-like wisdom, wisdom of equality, discriminating wisdom, all-accomplishing wisdom, and that diamond adamantine energy. All of these wisdoms will help you to become wise yourself. I think we are wise on the path, many of us. And recently we were told, you think you're wise, just wait till you're an ascended master, and then you will realize how little wisdom you really have in the human state of being, and how much wisdom there is really to glean from the cosmos. So in our humility, we become wise. If we're not humble, we are not wise. Recently, someone told me of another person who has been on the path a long time, and this person told the other person that they thought that they had really fulfilled their life mission, and, they felt that they were basically perfect. That is a very, very, very dangerous place to be in the state of one's awareness, where you feel that you've done everything, you've been there, done that, and, basically you're here to be served rather than to serve. Sorry. Go back to square one. Go back to kindergarten and start serving, serving, serving. Be humble, be humble, be humble. If you have that awareness where you feel you've attained, you will be initiated and humbled, I can guarantee you. And it could come dramatically, it could come not so dramatically, yet you will be initiated and maybe humiliated. And it's happened to me, believe me. I can only speak from that space of experiencing this because it happened to me with Mother, where I've been on the PAT and staff for 10 years, and then you haven't developed your threefold flame. My God, I felt like I was, an ant crawling on the earth. So it made me very humble, and I had to go back to square one, work on my heart, and start striving with every fiber of my being to really, search deep within and look at my psychology and say, how could I have come to this point where I hadn't developed my threefold flame that much? So please don't ever think that you've arrived. Omram says many, many times in his teachings that we strive for the ideal, for perfection, knowing that humanly we will never arrive there. And that our ideal is the sun, because the sun is so beautiful and so all-loving and rich in light and in divine substance. And when we desire to be sun-like, then we will be truly humble, because the sun is giving all the time. So thank you, beloved 5 Dhyani Buddhas, for this little teaching today. I think it's a good reminder. And, when we give our Golden Buddha rosaries, short or long, let's not get caught in the trap of just uttering words and doing rituals where we're not mindful of what we're saying. We're always striving to go deeper when we give these rituals and prayers and rosaries, so that each time we give that rosary or ritual, we're accessing something new and profound, and it's working on us and working within us. And we're not just saying the words to get in the time, and somehow we think that magically we're, going to attain this perfected state. We have to strive in our awareness to access again and again deeper and deeper levels of cosmic awareness.